Sure.
How do you manage to do that?
I mean, well, first off, I've got a really supportive family. So first off, they were all happy to see me going back to work and trying to do something that I really believed in. And you know, behind that is I'm super lucky because I have a husband who is not only supportive, but is a very accomplished businessman and has been able to give me very good advice. So, you know, I had sort of an in-house, even though I didn't have a partner, I had an in-house, you know, counselor, if you will, and somebody who also, you know, wouldn't tell me do this, but would say, think about doing this, or these are things you ought to consider, or look at that. So he was is very good to give me good, solid advice. And you know what? I know he wants me to succeed, and I know, you know, it's all good. The challenge is my kids were older when I went back to work. When I stayed home with my kids for about 12 years with some study in between, and the Idea Mom's website being what I started at one point. But for the most part, I've got older kids, so they're gone all day anyway. You know, they get up and they leave and they come home. And so, and living in Singapore, I mean, for goodness sakes, this place is the easiest place in the world. I mean, you can have maids
And you feel safe as well?
well, yeah, I mean, you know, I don't have to worry about my kids getting snatched or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, it's a safe place. They go to a good school. I, at different times, have had live-in household help, which, you know, if I were doing this in America, I wouldn't be having live-in household help. And as I said, I've got a supportive family that wants to see me succeed. You know, my kids, when I bring in glasses, or I have to wash glasses, or I have to put away spittoons, or, you know, or shift offices, or whatever, my family's there to help me. So I think I've been very lucky, and the challenges really aren't that great. If I had small children, it might be different, but that they were all teenagers anyway.
But what if you're a mother of some very young children?
Oh, I wouldn't do it.
You would not do it?
No.
Not at all?
Personally, I wouldn't, no.
Okay. Now, what will be your future plans and steps that you'll be taking forward with the local nose?
Well, currently, I'm at a crossroads of sorts, because I would really like to do that expansion and that scaling. I had an attempt at it last year. I made some efforts to go to Hong Kong, and I think it was premature. I wasn't ready to do it. And so I have pulled back and reassessing. One of the things is I have to redo the website. And redoing the website requires, one, money and time, and you have to oversee it, and so there's all that. At the same time doing the business, running the business. So I'm trying to work out how I'm going to do that, whether I just take the site down temporarily and then relaunch it, which is a possibility. It's not the best solution, but it may be the solution I ultimately do. And mainly because I don't have enough bandwidth at the moment to just keep it going, the job, and then also do that on top of it, and also look for expansion. So I'm also at the moment now looking at outside investment, and would like, you know, if that works out, because I would really like to have a partner, somebody who can bring some synergy, you know, and some complement me in some ways, with not only the business, but also, you know, things that I'm not good at. I'm really good at a lot of this stuff. I'm very, very good at certain aspects of this business, but I'm not very good at others. And I need to really scale and really grow, I've really got to find a complementary partner that can help with the stuff I'm not good at. Because I don't need help with the stuff I'm good at. But, you know, some things I can benefit from.
As a leading woman, by example, in participative leadership in today's world, in what ways can you encourage women for today on how can they learn from you in the area of leadership? What is leadership for women running a business? That's one. And also, someone asked me to bring this question to you online, and that is, what is the one quote that you've been influenced by your mother has made you who you are today? Is there one code that you live by? You know,
That's really funny because I come from Oklahoma in the United States, and there's a lot of, I grew up with a lot of quotes. I mean, very old sayings and things like that.
Yes.
And you know what, it may sound really negative, but the one that comes to mind that I've had happen to me over and over in business, and my father says all the time, which is no good deed goes unpunished.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of times what you find, and this is important, and it shouldn't be taken negative in the sense that when you do something voluntary, like a charity event, or you're trying to offer somebody, you say, okay, I'm not going to charge them this time because, I really like this person, or I'm going to give them this discount or something else. And it's happened to me where I've done something really, really nice. I had an incident, classic example. I had an incident where a customer asked me, they wanted to buy 6 bottles of wine from me, okay, and they were buying it at a wine fair, okay, and they wanted to buy these 6 bottles of wine, and it was offered at a special discount price because it was like a discount fair. And then one of my employees, they got to the checkout and they said, oh, well, this is really great, but could you store the wine for me? And my employee said, well, for how long? And she said, oh, well, like 3 months. I asked to store these 6 bottles of wine. And they didn't ask me, because had she, I would have said no. But my employee, not wanting to lose the sale, said, oh, sure we can, let me take your name and this and that and the other. So we're leaving and packing up, and I said, what's this box? And it's something we're going to store, this lady's wine. So, and wine storage costs money. Okay, I've got a cellar that I pay, space for. And so I thought, and it was the first time customer, and I didn't really know, so I thought, okay, this is a nice thing, it's a good deed, I'm going to do this nice thing, whatever. 3 months later, 2 days before Christmas, I get a phone call from the customer. Now, I've long since forgotten about this wine. I can assure you, it's not something that I worry about or I think about, and it's stuck in my cellar. And it's, I need my wine. And I said, oh, right, okay, well, let me get it delivered. And I use a delivery service, so we get the delivery organized. They come collect the wine, and it's supposed to be delivered the next day, which is Christmas Eve, okay? No, the 23rd, not the 24th, the 23rd. And so, I sent it off with a courier company. Done. Good deed done. Christmas is, coming, it's over. I get a call about 7 o'clock that night, and she's been waiting for the delivery all day and it hasn't come. And I said, well, gosh, I just really don't know. And she's yelling at me. And I said, well, wait a minute, let me see if I can find it. So I call the delivery company. Nobody's there working at this hour. It's like 7 o'clock at night. So on Christmas Eve, the next morning, I'm up, and I'm in a taxi, and I'm taking a $15 taxi ride over to the courier, because it's out in the warehouses, over to the courier company. And I'm spending $15 to get out there, getting the courier company. Of course, now at this point, I've got her on the phone, and I'm telling her I'm going to get this delivered, and she's yelling at me still on Saturday morning. And so I, of course, yell at the delivery guy. Why haven't you done this? My customer's yelling. And he gets really irate. We track everything down. Finally get the wine delivered on Christmas Eve. But I spent an hour and a half or 2 hours of my morning on Christmas Eve because that lady didn't want to keep 6 bottles of wine. And so this would be my father. Again, no good deed goes unpunished. If she had said, I am, I'll come pick it up from you, or something like that, it would have been fine. I would have put it down and then picked it up. But she wanted me to, I did one nice thing, and then she just wanted me to do something else and something else. And I'm by nature going to probably do that. But my father would always say, no good deed goes unpunished. And I got punished for my good deed from that one. But it's things like that. And so I think that particular quote, it's happened to me enough where when I offer to do something, I do it knowing that I'm not getting anything back from this, and I'm doing it genuinely because I want to do it. Okay, and if you approach stuff that way, then you're not disappointed. You're not let down because you sign off and say, yeah, this is what I want to do. So I don't know if it's really guided me, but it's certainly one that sticks in my mind. I've learned that little lesson again. And as for your first question about tips for leadership, leadership's a very funny thing. Because I think it's, people sometimes don't realize how effective a leader they are, how they influence people. And I just don't think they realize it. I see it with my children, you know, and often leadership comes in very small ways. You don't have to stand up and go, follow me, troops. It can be as simple as, you know what, I think you should go over and say something nice to this lady, I say to my kids, you know? And I'm leading my kid, I'm telling my kid, this is how you behave, okay? So just go do that, that's the right thing to do. Or it is quietly doing, you know, just leading by example, doing the work. It's like, okay, now we're gonna all clean up, and I'm cleaning up too. So I think leadership is if you expect for somebody to just put a hat on you or put something collar around your neck and say you're the leader, then you're not going to probably be very good a leader. I think you have to very slowly, incrementally earn and just take it and just sort of take opportunities to show or to contribute or and that's how you become a leader. And it's a very simple thing to do, but it's again a constant thing you have to build.
Well said and well ended on a good note.
Good.
And like they always say here at the National Business Choice, small things begin with a great packaging. And speaking of which, Ms. Sarah Mayo, thank you for joining us here at the National Business Choice.
My pleasure.
And folks, thank you for joining me here at the National Business Choice Online News, and having to get great updates on the local news here. And once again, do check out the Local News website, and it's available at www.thelocalnews.com. That's right. And once again, thank you for joining me. I'm Robin Stienberg, and have a great week ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. I hope that works.
Yeah.
The quote, you should have told me I would have thought of something else, but that's the only one I ever think of.
No, it's okay.
My father tells